Everyone who knows me well knows I love a good story. So I thought I'd tell you a story about something that happened at Amazon. So a group of Amazon leaders attended a leadership training summit. And during the retreat, they were told the following. Now, how would you react to this? You are not in charge. Rather, you are responsible for the people in your charge. Hmm, that's kind of interesting, right? How true. When we assume leadership roles, we often feel like the next thing to do is show those people who the boss is to take control. But to be fair to managers, that they may not necessarily be uncalled for. You may be on a team or with a team where you're worried that your gender, race, or something may unconsciously or inadvertently be disadvantageous to you. You may be in a team where your direct reports are more technically adept or in tune with newer technologies than you are, even though you are the manager. You may have faced stiff competition before assuming a leadership role, and there's an unspoken tension that has not yet been resolved. There's so many insecurities that cause leaders to focus on themselves and make establishing their authority the main priority as they settle into a role as opposed to focusing on the people, the team. As a manager, you should never lose sight of what's truly important: the people in your charge. It requires a certain mind shift away from the myopic impulses of self preservation and toward more enriching and rewarding dynamics of team and people development, which isn't always easy. It's something you have to learn to do. Management is not about getting results, but rather about getting results through the people you have that work with you, that work for you. You can't miss the people part if you want to be an effective manager. You have to, but I'm a people person. If you've ever watched Office Space, you know what I'm talking about. But you have to think it through. You require a motivated, inspired, and self-directed team. You have to have those things. The only way to get to get to that point, though, is through effective and efficient leadership. But then the $6 billion question is how? How do you do this? It requires a major mindset shift. Even if you have to get to your own personal headspace to figure this out, have a personal retreat, most managers never get to this point. Most managers lack that self awareness that they need to know when they need to revision, re engineer, and figure out, reorient themselves to develop that paradigm shift needed to become truly effective. Take a day or two off following whatever you have planned. Make a promise to yourself on the day of your personal retreat that you'll pour into yourself, and you'll pour into making your team the best of themselves. You'll invest personally and professionally in making them better, and make them better than you, and make them better than you met them. Build someone. I tell everybody all the time, the only way you're ever going to get ahead, the only way you're ever going to get that promotion, the only way you're going to elevate your skill set is if you help someone else get to the position where they can fill your shoes. Because if they can fill them where you are, then you can move forward. And that's something a lot of people don't think about. So if you're trying to grow in your career, make up your mind to be the accelerator that catapults people into the focus instead of being the person behind the scene who drags people down. If you're going to climb the ladder, it's not about grabbing people's ankles and pulling them out of your way. It's about pushing on their heels and pushing them up the ladder. Sometimes that means, and this is going to sound so self-serving, but I don't mean it this way. Sometimes it means that you have to have some internal training for your teams, for your senior leadership. Everyone needs to have some type of leadership summit that allows them to better understand the impact that they have and how they can have the best impact. Whether it's figuring out a short 90-minute or half-day course or even a full-day course to help those leaders take the reins and understand competency and understand EQ and understand emotional intelligence and how to deal with people and radical candor communication and building the right container and proper facilitation techniques. These things should be embedded and ingrained in who they are, but sometimes the fiber of our being is not so obvious, and we have to take those opportunities to figure out who we really are. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions. That's another piece of this. Sometimes the tension eases when a struggling team member is let go. And I know that sounds so harsh, but whether it's through layoff or straight up firing, sometimes taking that pressure off of the team and saying, hey, I'm here to support you, lets the other team members blossom and begin to shine more. Sometimes that that one apple is rotting the bunch, and you got to make sure you get rid of that apple so that all the rest can thrive. You should never be in a position where you feel like the rest of the team has to sacrifice to uplift someone who just might not make the cut. But at the same time, you do need to be empathetic to the needs of the individual who may need a little extra help or may need a little extra time. It doesn't mean that it's perfect. Nothing in this life is perfect. But what I can tell you is that if we learn how to lead through inspiration, and we learn how to center our focus, and we learn how to uplift others, that those tools are going to help you be a more effective leader. That's going to do it. I hope that this inspired you and uplifted you. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Do take care. We'll talk soon.